Hey my enchanted peeps, I thought I would do the tarot challenge that's been going on. You may have seen on some other channels. It's 31 Days of Tarot. It started by Ethany, who is a wonderful YouTuber as well, who does tarot type stuff. So she's doing a question a day. I didn't want to make a video every day, so I thought I'd just once a week do 7 or 8 of the questions. So the first question was, how did you first find out about tarot? I think I've told this story on this channel before, that when I was, I think about 9 or 10, my godparents got me this big giant book that had all these questions and answers about all sorts of stuff. There was like science facts and history facts and cultural things. But in there was a thing, there was a little article about tarot decks. Now, the weird thing is, when I was a kid, I always had thought that a deck should have 5 suits instead of 4. And so when I read about it, I just thought it was fascinating. I was very interested in it, wanted to know about it. So that's how I first heard about it. And then when I was older, this leads to question number 2, when did you get your first deck? When I was 20 and living on my own, I'd always kind of been fascinated by tarot and wanted to learn about it. And I was in a store and I saw that they had like a little deck, and it was like a US game system deck, just one of those little boxes with a little white book, and it was a Native American style deck. And that was the first deck that I ever got. I gave it away a long time ago. I got it like 21 years ago, so I gave it gave it away ages ago, because I moved on to other decks and I didn't resonate with that one as much, so I gave it away. But that was the first deck that I got. Question number 3 is, how many decks do you have? Are you a hoarder, collector, or are you an exclusive Betty? I would say I'm a collector. I don't want to say I'm a hoarder, because that's bad, but also hoarding implies that you keep them all, and I've probably given away more decks than I have at the moment, and I do have a lot of decks. I'm actually going through kind of like a bit of a purge thing, where last year I accumulated, you know, a fair amount of decks and things, and I'm kind of going through, and I've put aside a bunch that are perfectly fine, but I don't use and I don't resonate with, and I'm thinking of trading them. You know, if anyone's interested in doing some tarot trades, finding, you know, or finding a site or something to do some trades so that I can give them homes with people who will love them. So I'm not afraid to give things away, but I do like keeping decks. I do like collecting decks. So yeah, I went through all my tarot and oracle and rune and everything. I have about 68 different decks, and that's like oracle decks, tarot, runes, everything. So it was a little more than I thought, but that's okay. That's all right. So yeah, I would say I'm a collector, that's for sure. So this year, I'm not saying I'm not going to get any new decks, because I know I will, but I'm going to focus a little more on just working with the ones I have and just really getting to know them, which leads into question number 4, I believe it is, that I may be getting these questions mixed up, but one of them is, you know, what decks are you focusing on for 2016? So the first deck that I'm focusing on, I didn't bring it downstairs, but it's the Wildwood Tarot, and I'm going to be focusing on that in January and February. So I'll be really getting to know that deck. That deck is, I find, very different than my usual decks, and so I'm focusing on learning that one. For March and April, so like late winter, early spring here, I'm going to be focusing on the Animal Wisdom Tarot, which I picked up last month, which just seems like a very lovely, gentle, springy type deck. So I'm going to be focusing on that one. And then, and this is just tarot, not oracle decks, but for May, June, springtime, I will be working with the Fairy Oracle by Doreen Virtue. I think that's perfect for spring and early summer. And then for July, August, summertime, I'm going to be working with the Green Witch Tarot, which I picked up again, and I think it was in November. I worked with it a bit in December. I quite like this one, so I'll be working with that. And then my fall deck for September, October is going to be the Steampunk Tarot, which I think is a nice fall thing. So I haven't decided what I'm going to be working with for November, December. I'm keeping it open. Who knows what decks will come out this year, so I'm leaving it open that way. That's the plan right now. We'll see if I do it, but that is the plan. So the other question was how, I think this was the day 5 question, is how do you use your oracle decks, or your tarot decks? Do you read with other cards? I do. You know, I originally started off just reading with tarot, but now when I read for people, I pick a deck, I read with the tarot, but I also pull a couple of oracle cards. I'll usually include some angel cards as well to kind of get like a spiritual mix on it, so that I'm kind of incorporating all of these elements, you know, into the cards. The next question was, When did you give your first reading? It's probably back when I was about 20 and I first got my cards. My friends were interested, and so like I said, I got the native deck, and it just had the little book, and I kind of wanted something better. And the next deck I got, the second deck, was the Arthurian deck, and it came with a nice big book. And so I'd read with friends, we'd look in the book, look at the meanings, and then the third deck I think I got was third or fourth deck was the Osho Zen deck. And then I also got the Mythic Tarot, and I looked at those books as well, and those really helped me with learning the decks and things like that. So, yeah, I can't remember exactly who it was for, but family and friends is how I started. I think that's how everybody starts, right? Day 7 question is how long you've been reading for. I got my first deck when I was 20, and I'm 41 now. So 21 years I've been reading cards, which is pretty amazing. And I think they will always be a part of my life. I mean, I'm 41 now, and they've always been a part of my life. So why wouldn't they be a part of my life 21 years from now? I mean, that would be really awesome. I started reading professionally sort of on and off a few years ago, but I'm definitely taking a lot more seriously like that last year and this year with offering like online readings, and then I'm also reading at a shop on Sundays. So it's been a really great experience for me. Like I went from like years and years just having it personal and just family and friends to now, you know, doing it, you know, professionally, which is really, really great. So that's awesome. And then the day 8, the question was, I should write these down and not try to memorize them. I just had it in my head. What was it again? What was the first spreads that you learned? The first 3 spreads that I learned was obviously like a 1-card pull. Then I learned the past, present, future 3-card one, and then of course the Celtic cross. So those are classic ones, and I think they're useful for everybody. And yeah, those are the ones. So next week I will be doing, you know, the next 7 or 8 questions. I think it's really interesting because I love hearing everybody's experiences. I do have an announcement. I think yesterday or today I reached 1,000 subscribers, which is totally amazing. So if you watched all the way through this video, I'll be letting you know about the giveaway I will be doing. So just let me grab the deck. This is bad. I'm going off camera for a second. I really should have put this aside. Isn't that terrible? Anyway, so I will be giving away a brand new, still in the package, Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. This is a wonderful, amazing Oracle deck. It's one of my favorites. It's just very deep. The book is wonderful that comes with it. There are, I'll try to think how many, 44 cards in here. The artwork is beautiful. You can see on the back some of the artwork if you haven't already familiar with this deck. Beautiful artwork, and it really is just a very soulful, very healing, creative type of deck. And I just find the guidance in here is just it's very healing, very wise kind of deck. Definitely a feminine deck. Doesn't mean men can't use it, but just so you know, it is a very feminine type deck. And it's a wonderful, you know, wonderful, amazing deck. So all you have to do to be entered into this contest is to be a subscriber, obviously, and this is also open to people who subscribe on my blog. And just put in the comments below a question that you have, and I'll be doing a question and answer video and announcing the winner. So I'm going to give people until, what's next Friday? The 15th? Yes. Until the end of the day on the 15th to enter the contest. So like I said, all you have to do, be a subscriber, put a question in the comments below, and say you're interested in the deck. You don't have to be in Canada. You can be in Antarctica, wherever, and I will mail you this deck. Just as a thank you to everybody for watching and for subscribing, and just, you know, I love, like I said, everyone's comments and things, and I just think it's amazing that anyone is interested in what I have to say, never mind, you know, that many people. So, and you know, I just feel very blessed to be a part of this YouTube sort of tarot and oracle community. There's so many wonderful people, so many wonderful, you know, people on YouTube and stuff that are doing amazing things and inspire me all the time. So thank you very much, guys. This is a little thank you to you. I might include some other things as well, but I'll definitely, this is the prize. Unfortunately, only one winner, but what I'll do is I'm just going to draw names. I'll put them in a hat, and we'll draw and then let the universe decide who gets this deck. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, whatever time it is when you're watching. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.